What's going on, you guys? My name is Drew. This is Spookz of 100 Thieves coach fame. Strategic coach. Yes?
Strategic coach.
Strategic coach.
Yeah.
We just wrapped up a series against Flyquest where 100 Thieves unfortunately lost. Did take a game off though. It was a pretty crazy series. What were your thoughts on the series from the outside, from in the backstage area?
Yeah, I mean, Game 1 draft, I honestly think Game 1 and 2 draft went really well for us. We just made like some crucial mistakes in important moments in the first game, but I think we definitely should have won that game. I just think that's kind of a strength of Flyquest is like they will kind of always hang around. Like even if they're losing fights, they are still doing a good job like keeping pressure in the game and on the map. So that if you slip up, they will punish you, and that's kind of what happened. Whereas like if we verse other teams, a lot of the time when we win those like fights, we can just roll over the game pretty fast.
Yeah.
Game 2 draft I think went really well as well. I think they were planning on picking Bard on 3 into the Vi comp. Presumably, I don't really know, but I think draft for us was good. I know a lot of people probably under the expectation that we don't have enough damage or whatever, that narrative that people say all the time, but I think that's like pretty fake, especially with our comp. And then yeah, I mean from game 3 and 4, just really big critical mistakes in the early game. Third game, we didn't crash bot wave. I don't think they probably highlighted that on the broadcast, but when we swapped and we had a slow pushing bot wave, we didn't crash, which actually was like probably the major reason why Jax fell so far behind in that game.
Okay, can you explain why that?
It's essentially just a snowball. Like he has one window when their bot lane bases and runs back bot to crash the wave, and if he doesn't crash and it slow builds back, he's going to lose multiple waves of farm.
Yeah.
And he just misrecognized the situation, and it kind of just snowballed into like falling so far behind. And then obviously the dive on top was misexecuted pretty terribly.
Yeah.
I mean, like
that was tough.
That was pretty hard to watch.
Yeah.
And our comp is good if like we should be able to control the game. We have Ryze who can move to side. We have 2 good side lane matchups. Like Jax at Aatrox is pretty good matchup. It's not like super one-sided, but it is Jack's favorite early, and we have obviously a winning bot lane. But as soon as we lose control of the early game, it's like naturally, if they could just 5-man walk around everywhere, our comp can't really function. So a bit of a snowball. And then the last game, kind of similar thing, like the level 1 happened.
That was tough.
It's like, and then he TV'd back. Inspired punished as well. Like he ganks mid. I will say that is kind of probably a big thing about Inspired is just if you slip up or make one major mistake, which we did, he can run over the game like he did in the Trundle game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes those things happen, and it's just like the nature of the game. So I will say our biggest weakness is just our early games have been inconsistent. I think we're pretty good around team fighting and playing out the mid to late game around Otacon and Baron and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we definitely need to clean up our early game for sure.
Yeah. So, as strategic coach, from the outside, I don't necessarily know exactly what that is. Would you be able to give like a quick summary of what it is you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially another title for an assistant coach, I guess.
Okay.
But I think from my role, I'm pretty fortunate in the sense that I have a lot of leeway to help the team in kind of every aspect. I think me and Grayson share the duties relatively evenly in terms of like team review and drafting and that kind of stuff. It's more of a pairing than like a head coach assistant coach role.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a lot of freedom to do the things that I think are impactful within the team.
Yeah.
Strategic coach just kind of like a title for like, I guess in some other esports they'd be considered like just focus on draft or something like that. I know C9 does that kind of setup.
Yeah.
But no, we pretty much share every major responsibility as a duo, essentially. Yeah.
Nice. Have you two worked together before working on 100 Thieves?
Yeah, kind of. So my first role was on Golden Guardians, and I was kind of, my role was like between the academy and the main team, and Golden Glue was on the main team at that time.
Oh, as a player?
As a player. But like, I didn't
crazy.
really work, like that was my first ever split of coaching, and like, I wasn't close with Grace or anything like that, and I was like kind of just like figuring out the role. So we had worked together, but we weren't really that close before this iteration of 100 Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's such a funny. Met as a kind of coach to player, and then now kind of co-coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the Lee Sin pick, game 4, which I will say as a fan, it was really hype because I just love when something wacky is picked.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was a good idea there, but again, that early game was really tough. And then like Trundle ganks him after he has no flash. Like, what was the thought process of that Lee Sin? How did it come to be?
Yeah, we had played a decent amount of like just melee mids in general in scrims, and Quid it's kind of like his archetype of champion. Like he's very good at like melee champs.
He had the Viego the other day.
Yeah,
right?
the Viego. I mean, we coincidentally lost that game as well, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like it looks silly when you lose with it because but you know, if we bring that kind of thing out and we do well, then like people will think we're so smart. But we just had like unfortunate situation happen. But in that specific situation, we picked Lee Sin into Trundle essentially and basically act as a flex pick. And Zyra, like essentially Lee Sin will get perma prio into Hui, assuming the lay goes how it goes, and then Zyra has a pretty good matchup into Trundle, so he can just kind of gain his natural CS lead. And it's basically the job of Lee Sin is to get Zyra through to a point where Zyra will carry. So like you're flipping the roles essentially from mid jungle.
That's cool.
And it had worked for us in scrims, and you know when you get to game 4 and 5, you have to be somewhat creative. Because you have you run out of champions
your options
and fearless, and I honestly think it was a good angle. I don't think draft was an issue in that game. I know some people are gonna have that opinion, naturally. Yeah. But yeah, we just happens.
Yeah, happens. And you guys, I mean, I think the great part is that you guys aren't like out. Like now it's okay. The next phase.
Yeah, we just finished the regular season,
which is crazy.
So
I was talking to Masu about this just because it's like. I spent probably 10 minutes out in the press room talking to other press and being like, okay, this leads into the next thing. And then like they're guaranteed worlds if they win, but they're still playing within this because they go to semis. And like, that's been crazy as like someone who works around the space. I can imagine it's crazy for fans, but how's it been on team side?
Confusing. It's like you don't know when you should be as emotionally invested. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like the format is so bizarre to me, but like it is what it is.
You'll play.
Yeah, just try to win, and then naturally good things will happen.
Yeah.
So it is so weird that we have a final into a final in like a week. So
right, and then it's also like when they're hoisting the trophy out there. It's kind of like they're not too excited about it because it just means that they have better seeding into.
I had that feeling about EU last year when they turned into like the multiple splits. I remember I was watching G2. They were like holding up the trophy, and everyone was like, "Yay!" Like there was no hype because there's no like actual regular season and finish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know like what they want out of the format, but it feels so weird.
Yeah, it feels a little convoluted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this new swap, this whole situation with Dokla and Sniper swapping out, you have a lot of people on the outside being like, what's going on? This seems weird, you know. I think a lot of them kind of, those rumors, feelings got put to rest when 100 Thieves started doing really well, because it's like, okay, maybe this was the right move for the team. It's not just as simple, basic level as like top laner swap.
Yeah.
But what has that been like from your perspective on the inside as like co-head strategic coach?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of, it was a bit frustrating at certain points to have a lot of people so confidently commenting on the situation with no context of the situation. Like there was a lot of pretty big names in the scene that were very sure of themselves. But, for us, it was our last split under 100 Thieves. And, it's not like we didn't have like a future to look at. We had what was in front of us for I think at the time we made the decision, we had like 2 or 3 weeks left, 4 weeks maybe. And so we just had to make kind of like the hard decision in terms of like what was the best for the team. And obviously that wasn't initially our plan when we brought in Dux. I know people are going to make that assumption, but I promise you it was not like that at all. But we were really struggling at the start of the splits. to find our footing in terms of like the whole game is just built around team play right now, obviously around neutrals and that kind of stuff. And we were just struggling a lot getting on the same page with Snipes, and a lot of that just comes from lack of experience. I love Snipes, like he works hard, he's a good kid, and he's got like a really bright future. But unfortunately in our situation, it's like we just had to do something. We had to make a change essentially to kind of put us on the right track. So yeah, that's kind of all it really was.
Well, I'm sending you good luck for the coming weeks. I'm really hoping you guys just make it like an awesome run, and we can see.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah, really.
Me too.
You know, that's surprising. Awesome. Do you have anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there, any Spookz heads out there?
Yeah, I just think like thank you very much. Like honestly, I've been looking at social media quite a bit recently, and I've seen a lot of support for us, even though it's our last split as a team, and I know a lot of you guys really love this roster and how exciting we are to watch. And even though you don't get to see it, the players really appreciate your support, and it kind of keeps them going, keeps them motivated. So thank you everyone so much for the support.
Sick. Well, thank you for the interview.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you.